I got to admit, it's less than I expected. His accuracy has not been good.
Dillon Gabriel's depth of target, 6.1 yards, lowest in the league.
What
happened to the super processor?
Dillon Gabriel, 4.6% turnover-worthy play, 49th out of the 58 QBs that have taken a drop back. It seems like the Browns media cannot hide behind the supercomputer allegations. Like we were told for the entire preseason that, look, Shedeur doesn't even have a chance. He's not going to even get any first-team reps. Don't worry about it. DG is going to take this offense to heights never seen. Now, what we've seen is mid. And, we like DG around here. We're not hating. I honestly think it has more to do with Kevin Stefanski's inability. So right now, the Browns media is arguing between if Dillon Gabriel is mid or if Kevin Stefanski is just that bad. Here's our guy, Tony. Let's hear it.
Dillon Gabriel has underperformed so far in 3 games for the Browns. Reaction, overreaction.
That's tough because in my eyes,
it's not tough, Tony.
Yeah, come on.
What are you watching?
He's had one good game, which is the Minnesota game. I thought it's not the reason they lost. One bad game.
I'll let you answer.
Which I blame
let him answer the question.
On the game planning and the game management. And one game, which was this one. So, in my mind, he's underperformed. Okay.
Aaron.
But I don't think he's underperformed in their mind.
He's underperformed what you told me you were seeing in training camp. I know that.
I don't know what the Browns thought. They liked him enough to draft him with the 94th pick in the draft, and I think he's looked pretty much like a third-round rookie quarterback to me.
In his 3 games under these circumstances, he's looked better than the number 1 pick in the draft, Cam Ward.
You think Dillon Gabriel's outperformed Cam Ward?
Yeah. I mean, they're both.
They only have 1 win each. I mean, Cam Ward won a game too.
Yeah, and see, that's where we get to. Now, Cam Ward has been struggling, but Cam Ward also, you know what I'm saying, he's dealing with a team that literally picked number 1 overall. The Browns, obviously they were picked number 2. So they trade out. Not a major difference. Not a major difference. But, again, you have a lot of top-tier names, right? You have, you're comparing Jeffrey Simmons to Myles Garrett, Grant Delpit, Carson Schweringer. Like how else are we really going to compare? Like, the Browns have one of the greatest defenses. Now, I think offensively comparative, right? Both of these wide receivers, they drop passes, right? The Titans wide receiver room, very young, right? So there's a lot of people still coming around. You still have Calvin Ridley running around there. So you do have some older talent there as well. But I think it's a lot going on with Cam Ward. So to compare him to Dillon Gabriel, who is supposedly been running the system, knows the system better than anybody. That's what was told to us. Supposedly was a supercomputer. Supposedly had been groomed to start in this position. That's a little easier than to be immediately thrown in the fire like Cam Ward has been. He's, I believe, top 3 in sacks, one of the most sacked quarterbacks. Now he's been giving the ball up a lot too. That's fair, but it's hard for me to take you real seriously, Grossy, when you're trying to make those types of comparisons. So let's hear him. Let's hear what he really thinks. This is what he really thinks.
It's a little worse than I expected because I have a higher opinion of him than most people in the media, and certainly than you guys do. But I got to admit, it's less than I expected. His accuracy has not been good. But the drop passes, that disrupts
that's true.
Rhythm in a drive and a possession. But that's no excuse. I mean, you're the quarterback. You got to deal with things like that. Obviously, he's not lighting it up. They're not asking him to light it up, except in the Pittsburgh game, and he's not capable of lighting it up. The best I can say about him is he's not losing the games. Okay, now that is really faint praise. I understand.
Hey man, it's how far we've came. We've got a few more videos talking about Dillon Gabriel, but before we go even further, I want to stress something. What I don't want to do is I don't want to turn into what the media does. That's not what I'm here. I'm not here to paint narratives, right? Like, I think the best thing Tony Grossi said is Dillon Gabriel is playing like a 3rd round rookie quarterback. That's it. Like that's what needs to be said. That he needs to have grace and time. He's also clearly operating an offense from 1785, right? He's on a team that just picked number 2 overall, Okay, so I have been big on let's support Dillon Gabriel. Now let's also tell the truth. He's been mid, and that's okay. That's better than I expected. If you want me to be honest with you, his draft grade was 4th and 5th round. So to be honest with you, I think he's playing a little higher. No hype, pun intended, right? I like Dillon Gabriel. I think Dillon Gabriel's a gamer. I think he's going to go down as but a really fun, really great college football quarterback. I have a fan for those types of guys, but it doesn't translate to the NFL. But with all that being said, as a known Shedeur guy, what we're not going to do is this right here, right?
I noticed that Quinn Ewers was sitting next to Tua.
That's common, Bull. What you're saying is very common.
Shedeur Sanders, I don't think ever sat next to Dillon Gabriel during this game in between possessions.
I haven't seen it this year.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's something out of nothing. I just thought it was curious. Usually the backup quarterback, and again, maybe, when he was the third string, okay, maybe that's, but he's been the backup the last few weeks.
I would want, because usually those conversations are quarterback coach or coordinators upstairs, whoever is the highest ranking offense.
So and I believe Garrett Bush is on the show too. Shout out Garrett Bush. I really want to collab with him. He's awesome. He makes great content. I think he makes some of the best content Shedeur and Cleveland Browns is oriented. You know what I'm saying? He's a real top tier guy, and he's very sincere about the content that he creates. My issue with that is you see what I mean, and I always come and I stress to y'all, the villain is not Dillon Gabriel. That's why we don't hate Dillon Gabriel. We love Joe Flacco. We do hate Kenny Pickett, but that's just because he's mid. Y'all saw what he's doing on the Raiders. All right, that's a whole different thing. I got a problem with Kenny Pickett, but that's me. Okay, I'm messages with Dillon Gabriel. But 12 is my guy, right? So, of course, I'm going to have my biases, right? But it's never been Dillon Gabriel. And it never will be. It never will be. Because, what's so crazy, and I'm so happy. I have this little piece here. We were watching. This is from the Well Off Media video. You can see, guess who one of the first people, whenever DG comes to the sideline, one of the first people to be there is who? Shedeur, and I'm no body language reader, right? But I do want to point out that if you watch the full clip, like you can see Dillon, Dillon's they know, and Dillon is hitting him on the back to hey yada yada, probably telling him something, hey blah blah blah, you know what I'm saying? They're engaged, and when we were doing our live stream, you know what I'm saying, every Sunday, well we try to, these next few Sundays, probably not gonna happen, but regardless, when we do those things, right? What typically, no, not typically, but what we saw was, I saw on the sideline that Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel were talking. Like they were kind of yapping a little bit. They were like, whatever, cool. Now they might have not been sitting together, but Shedeur is also known to be friends with a lot of defensive players too, right? And maybe he's over here, maybe he's over there, but I think this is what y'all need to be focused on, right? I saw him, talking to him a few times. This is a real conversation. This is not just some, hey, cool, good play, tap you on the head, keep going. Nah, they're locked in. Hey, boom. Hey, Dillon Gabriel, right back at you. Blah, 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 da, da, da. Like they're feeding off. And shout out to, I think her name was Miss Leslie Rutherford. She tweeted out at the London game. She pointed out, and we talked about that too, right? We were like, hey, Joe Flacco and Shedeur are also labbed in together all the time. So what makes me most upset about this, right, is that Dillon Gabriel has been the QB1 for only 3 games. And Joe Flacco has been there. So Shedeur has only been QB2 for 2 games, right? This is the second game. He's been a real true QB2. Why don't they talk about all the times when he was QB3 and he was talking to Joe Flacco? Why doesn't that stand out to y'all? Why not? Why don't you say, we never see him next to Dillon Gabriel. What we saw was him next to Joe Flacco. That's an interesting part to put out, but that's just what the media does, man. The media, and I told y'all, look, I was like, that's why we not gonna throw Dillon Gabriel on the bus. We gonna tell it like it is, and when he mid, right? But I'm telling you, the media will quickly turn on Dillon Gabriel. They ain't gonna be as nasty as Shedeur because they get too many clicks from that. But they'll throw him aside. They'll throw all the supercomputer stuff away as soon as he's not producing. But let's see a few more things about the anticipation of Shedeur as well as the grading of the performance from Dillon Gabriel. So we'll go DG first.
The kid should have 7 picks. 7. And somehow the balls go through everybody's hands. God love him. Hey, let me say this. That's more powerful than any stat you can. He could have had 2 more yesterday. They ran the ball. Let's give him credit. Everybody was convinced because it was 40-mile-an-hour winds and rain that Stefanski was going to throw the ball all day. He didn't. He ran the ball. Good job, Kev. Good job, Coach. Way to go. But under no circumstances did your quarterback do anything to win you that game.
Riz, I agree.
When am I going to get to see Shedeur? When?
Riz, I don't know. I would have thought with 31-6 the score yesterday with 5 minutes to go.
They put in Quinn
I asked
Ewers.
Grossi, I said, why didn't we see Shedeur?
Yeah, why? What'd they say?
And he said, listen, it was Gabriel's first win. Let him finish the game.
I'm ready to see Shedeur after the bye. In fact, give him the bye. Make him go in a room. Don't let him out for the whole weekend. And get him up to speed in practice. Let him practice against the 1 defense. Let him practice with the number 1 offense. Get him ready to play. And go take him to New York and let him play against the Jets. Should Sanders start after the bye in New York? Aaron.
I'm kind of ready for it, yeah.
Carmen.
Yes.
Around the mountain they go, right? Around the mountain, around the carousel. They will throw old DG to the wolves, and it even looks like Tony Grossi is going to eventually get there. But let's talk about it from a statistical standpoint. It's one thing to say, hey, he dropped a pick, we dropped the pick. Hey, we saw them drop picks. We saw that pick get turned over from a PI. What about statistically? Shout out to CLEology or Cleology, doing advanced stats. I was literally looking for the turnover worthy play rate to get everything right. So here's what we have right now. Of the 58 quarterbacks who've made a single drop back this season, here is where the Browns quarterback Dillon Gabriel ranks in a few key advanced metrics. So BTT, I don't know what BTT is, but TWP is what we're looking at. That's the biggest thing. And that's turnover worthy play. So 4.6% turnover worthy play. That he is 49th out of the 58 QBs that have taken a drop back, which sometimes can be skewed, right? I would like for him to, because he's only played 3 games. So, and there's a lot of people who've already been bitched. So it might be hard to even get that. But regardless, out of the 58 QBs, you know what I'm saying? It's not looking great. Now, adjusted, I believe that's I don't know. I gotta be honest. I don't know what ADOT is. I probably need to look at it. I don't know what that is, but that's what we're looking at. We're looking for turnover worthy plays. All right, we found what we need to find. Adjusted completion percentage, 72.4, which is 40th percentage. So what's it called? He says, don't let folks tell you Gabriel is protecting the ball and playing it safe. He's not. He's just been lucky, very lucky. His 6 turnover worthy plays has not come back to bite him yet. And he says they will. So, it's very interesting when you have somebody like what's his name? Tony Grossi try to do the whole Cam Ward comparison, because where are the statistics, right? Where are you pulling these statistics out that, he is equal, right? Are you looking at turnover worthy play rate? Are you looking at him throw sausages at defenders and them just completely drop them? Are we looking at the same thing? Are we looking at the refs putting them in the red zone multiple times? I'm not here on Dillon Gabriel. I'm here to tell you the truth, right? Because, it's very easy to cherry pick stats. At least get some cherry pick stats like CBS, because CBS says the last 2 quarterbacks with 100+ passing attempts in exactly 2 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions in their first 3 NFL starts, old Thomas Brady, right? And Dillon Gabriel. So, do you think that Dillon Gabriel is going to be the next Tom Brady? Comment down below. You let me know how you feel about that. Real Tom Brady stat line here. 11 for 14, 91 yards, 1 for 7. Now, this wasn't the end of the game. He did eventually throw for 100 yards. But, we're up 24-6 and they went up to 31-6, and somehow Shedeur did not see the field. And that's a crazy, crazy thing. Now, I do want to speak on some things because this account does really great stuff. This is a Browns film breakdown. You know, their YouTube, their everything. Last week or I think last week or the week before, we used them, and we were talking about the fact that Dillon Gabriel, he hit his not hit his, but he rolled in the wrong direction, and I'm waiting for him to put out that because I swear he rolled on the bootleg the wrong direction again this week. We were watching it live. I was like, that don't look right. It was very confusing. But here's we're gonna do just like a little snippet here. I want to show him missing some wide open. So what we're gonna see, and he's gonna, I'm gonna let him break it down a little bit. But really, what we're gonna see is a wide open wheel route that the supercomputer can't do. And this is again, I'm not coming at Dillon Gabriel. I'm coming at the media. For as much as people want to say, oh, Shedeur got set up, Shedeur, y'all are overhyping him. Y'all sure did overhype Dillon Gabriel in the set. Y'all didn't need to overhype somebody else to stop what you thought was an overhype. Like that didn't need to happen. The statistics were there. The first round mock drafts were there. The NFL draft grades from NFL.com that had Dillon Gabriel as a 4th to 5th rounder, right? And had Shedeur as a 1st rounder. I didn't write him. Deion Sanders didn't write him. I see you, Auntie didn't write him. Some white dude named Alex read it. That's go look it up. I'm not making it up. His name might not be Alex, but I've known a lot of good Alexes in my life. The truth of the matter is he looks like an okay quarterback. And that's it. That is all.
Drive, the Browns get down to the 17-yard line. It's 2nd and 12. I want to make sure I have that right. 2nd and 12. Okay. So we're in 2-by-2 where we motion across and unfold zone coverage. Now we're in 3-by-1. Nobody ran with him. Corner bumps out.
And, I want to stress this. Understand, and, shout out to Kevin Stefanski because I think one thing he does do great is motion, right? Understand what this just did to this defense, right? They just added a bunch to not the field side, but this is the field side. I forgot what you call this. The boundary, right? To the boundary side, right? Look how condensed, and then look at these numbers, right? So if we're thinking 3-on-3 here, right? Well, you shouldn't be thinking 3-on-3. You should be thinking 3-on-4, right? Because this is another wide receiver, right? Sometimes y'all, whenever I'm doing film stuff, sometimes you hear me say, "Oh, okay, it's 3, but it's really 4." It's because back in high school when I was playing, again, I'm no advanced athlete, but in the very, very tiny little bit I know, sometimes we would count the running back as hey, that's a receiver threat. It's not trips, it's quads, right? So really, you have 4 receiving threats versus these 3 potential dropbacks, unless, because again, we know it's zone, right? Like we just confirmed from that motion, right? Not only do you get the motion to confirm that zone for Dillon Gabriel, but you also now they're in conflict no matter what, right? He's coming. You have 3 people covering 4 people, unless he's going to be peeling off on this back. You're going to have a very advantageous play.
Side. Just now we're in 3-by-1.
Right. Boom. So they're in 3-by-1, and as you see, and this is how it kind of unfolds here. It's right here. It's as easy as this. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. You don't need to look at it. We're in zone. You see here. I mean, you can even. I mean, if he's coming on a drag, I'm really not sure what you're seeing here. He's gonna sit down. So I don't know. If the super could be, and this is not me being whatever, but like that should be his positive, right? If you got a zone key. Now you're looking up. This looks very zone-ish. It almost looks like they're playing 2 different. It looks like they're playing a split here. But let's let him talk about it real quick.
We're getting a settle hook up here. We're getting a shallow and probably another shallow, and then the rail route. Yeah. Now this is usually called expecting to get some man and have some beaters to punish them with. But this is.
And I'm okay with him looking right here and maybe trying to force the drag because maybe he thinks he's man. But again, we've just talked about that. That's what that motion was for. It was to tell Dillon, hey, you're not in man, So this
fine
is how
against zone, especially if they're in cover 2 variation.
And look again, and I think he's gonna get to this. This isn't even a bad throw. It is 2nd and 12, but I mean, if you want to just get the ball out, right? I mean, just give it to. I think that's Jerry Jeudy. I can't tell, but I mean, that's easy. You get a few yards there.
Everything's mucked up inside. We got middle hook, curl hook. We can throw this right now if we want to. It's in front of your face. We can try to anticipate this window if we want to, even though you got to understand
like that. I don't
solo
like that.
side safeties are always hunting in breakers from anything where, especially if the receiver on their side disappears. If he disappears, do you see how his eyes are on him? If he disappears, watch his eyes go boom, looking inside. See his eyes go here?
Yeah, he's gonna look
Inside.
at
So
something
this
the
is
other way.
all bracketed. We can still find some solutions, but pretty bracketed. I don't feel confident throwing into the course of 2 deep, 5 under.
Yeah.
2 deep, 5 under.
That's why I was like, I don't know what this is, because you wouldn't play cover 4 like this. This almost looks like they're playing like a cover 3 technique where they have this like outside shade because they know they had that over the top leverage there. So it's like a cover 2 man look, right? That's why I think it might be a split, right? Where they might be playing something. They might be playing 2 different cover 3 or something weird, because it's not cover 4. Because it was cover 4, these cornerbacks I assume would be a little deeper here. What's it called? But maybe, hey, I could be wrong. You feel me? Maybe they had a banjo call. Maybe they were just saying, hey, just back the fuck up. But it really left a wide open zone here for him to be able to take advantage of. I would love to see him do this. And like you said, there's plenty of things to diagnose here. There's plenty of ways that he could have got himself out of trouble. I would like to see, just for Dillon Gabriel's sake, him get himself out of those troubles in those situations, because it's going to be it's crazy hiccups. It's going to be needed if the Browns are going to find any success. So y'all let me know how y'all feel down below in the comments. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you like football content. If all shapes, sizes, forms, and fashions, you be great, you be phenomenal. We'll see you next time.